Hey guys, this is Ryan from AMS. Welcome to Rockville here in Daytona Beach, Florida. Let's take a look at who we bumped into today.
Hello.
Yeah. Do you have like one of those things that goes over it says music is win on it?
I need to get one.
Like music is win news.
Yeah, where's the AMS like little square news thing?
We'll put that in post.
Yeah, Photoshop that in, will you?
Actually, let's start there.
Okay.
What is music is win? What does it mean?
Well, there was a time in our culture when wins and fails were quite prominent in ways of describing victories or, of course, failures, and music is win. Yeah, I made it as a Twitter handle in like 2014, and once things started taking off, I couldn't change it.
That's it.
And that's it. I fear changing it to this day for, all the videos to get sucked out of the search engines. So
Yeah, so you can start from scratch.
But, everybody still understands it. Music, like, it doesn't really make sense, but it's like, oh, all right. Music is win.
I knew what you meant,
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure if I missed the joke,
No,
which
no
I do
joke.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
There's jokes, you got to throw a bunch of stuff at the wall, see what sticks.
Speaking of, what did you see out there today?
I saw very little clothing on men and women. And I was tempted myself to go down that big slip and slide water slide. I saw a ton of gigantic long neck drinks and some people pouring them all over themselves as they jammed to Primus. I saw a lot of crowd surfing. I saw some angry people, but angry in a happy way, like really into the music, so just off the cuff.
Yes.
And really just palpable energy in this place. I've enjoyed
I noticed that things that should be dry are wet, and things that should be wet are dry.
Yeah.
And when I close my eyes and I kind of get enveloped with the smells and the sounds, I actually start to see colors. And like today, what color would today be?
Well, it's sort of a cop-out to say tie-dye, but there are like a million different types of profiles of human being here. It's not a metal festival. It's not a rock festival. Like, we got Cypress Hill playing tonight, but we also have Slipknot playing tomorrow night. So what do you classify that as? I don't know. So it's all walks of musical life here, and I love it.
I think all music is winning when you think about it.
Music is win. See, it's working. It's making sense now.
So, of course, you had a chance to come into the tent for the AMS music experience and see how people shred in real time without warming up, with obviously not, knowing as much as you do. What do you think? How do they do?
I told them this. It takes a lot of courage to get up in front of a bunch of strangers and play a guitar you've never played, an amp you never played. And they all were only mildly shaking.
I know.
It wasn't complete freaking out. But I honestly thought everybody did a really great job. Even when people were, wrecking the train, it was still just fun. Everybody was supportive and, just testament to all the guitar players out there that, came up and were interested in even trying it, because it's not an easy thing to get up there.
It is not, especially kind of coming up there cold and thinking, what am I going to play? It's one thing when you rehearse and you have time to do it.
Yeah.
But as an instructor, what do you think when you see someone, you're like, I can fix that? Like if they just took my tutorial and...
Normally it's like, just take notes out.
Yes, what not to play.
That's usually like the fix is always easy, just less notes, and then the notes that you play end up mattering more and you pay more attention to them instead of just flying. But then it is a shred contest, so I think they were trying to get as many notes in as possible, which I commend and respect.
Agreed. I mean, I felt like that was the point. They got up there and they did want to shred as much as they could, but then you get people who will kind of ape a certain player, like, I'm hearing a lot of Eddie or some Yngwie or some Dime.
Yep.
When you hear these bands playing today, that a little more modern, where do you think they're taking guitar? What do you think is kind of the state of things right now in the world of guitar playing?
I think that rock music, rock guitar, real just old-fashioned, loud, distorted guitar is coming back in a humongous way. I hear louder guitars and squealing guitar solos than I've heard in yes, it's a rock festival. Of course, there's guitar solos, but these guitar solos in particular, call it the tie-dye people everywhere. It's just a magical, a sonic landscape that's emitting out of these speakers. But to answer your question for real,
That wasn't the real answer.
The guitars are going in a good direction. Very interesting mixes between Primus. I saw Primus and I saw Wolfgang Van Halen's band, and those two mixes were completely different. Wolf's guitar was insanely mid-rangey and punchy. It's sharp in a good way because you got to play to so many thousands of people. When you have your guitar that loud, it changes the tone. So it was fun to see with Primus, where the bass is the focus instrument, how the guitar player in Primus, which I cannot remember his name, but I know he took lessons with Joe Satriani.
Larry Lalonde.
Larry Lalonde, yes.
There you go.
I knew it. I just couldn't remember it. His guitar was mixed way back, but still a lot of intricate stuff going on. So of course it matters with the band, but my point is the guitar was additive and it was being used as a focus instead of just sort of something that's been in the background of popular music.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, I think we all feel like everyone kind of hits us over the head with how, Taylor Swift or hip hop or pop and how it rules the charts. But you come to a thing like this and you see this many people getting psyched to hear sonic annihilation, and it's usually guitar driven.
Yep.
So it kind of makes you feel pretty good, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Who is the band that I saw? Hold on, I got to get the name because Royal Blood. So Royal Blood had this riff that I could hear all the way across the field, and it was a fuzz riff, and they were just so locked in and tight. And I was like, that sounds like an old stinky Octavia.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what's that doing screaming through the winds,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. There's a lot of guitar sorcery going on.
I agree. So when people say guitar is dead, we obviously know that that's a lie.
We revived it back when that article came out. That was actually the moment of its resurrection. So there you go.
So you're here for one more day. Who are you going to go check out tomorrow?
Tomorrow, highlights include Polyphia, we have Slipknot, Sum 41, which, not my first choice of band to go see, except maybe it should be because I have a feeling that's going to be epic.
Agreed. Farewell tour.
That kind of music. I'm a kid of the early thousands, late 90s, so Fat Lip, I think, is the biggest song by them.
It's a crusher.
I'm very excited to avoid getting trampled when that song comes on. I'm going to have to try and get in the crowd for that, give you guys a perspective inside that mosh pit.
Well, we definitely have people in the mosh pits getting ready to have teeth knocked out and stuff like that, but they're paid to do it.
You guys have a team in there already?
We have people in there, and they have GoPros and cameras. And
so do you have somebody who's going to do the wall of death?
Probably. I think so. Yeah. They might not come out, but if we find their phone...
Well, I was going to say, let me just give them my phone and be like, hey, man, I'll give you $100. Just come back. I was thinking about asking one of these kids who's followed my channel, be like, you want to do me a favor? I don't want to break my nose, but you seem like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Can you
How
help
big of
me
a
out?
fan are you?
How much do you love Guitar Super System?
Here's a Music is Win t-shirt. I'm sorry about your neck.
Yes.
Well, that's not a bad idea. I noticed that when you walked through, there was a lot of leg humping. People were pretty excited.
Yeah,
You're a celeb.
when they're used to seeing you inside their phone, it can be a little disorienting. So a lot of people look at me like I'm an alien, which I like. I enjoy being the weird, singled out one. And it's what I've signed up for, and everyone is so nice and supportive.
I know that feeling. That's why I get to do what I do here. Essentially, I'm a guitar buyer, so if what we do fails, I could go back to spreadsheets at any point, and it's okay because people look at me like I'm a weirdo anyway.
Yeah, nothing really. People can look and think we're weird, but we know what we like.
Yes, we do, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
Thanks for your time, man. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
I will.
And I got to tell you something. You got one hell of a sweat stain on the back of that shirt right now. Maybe we'll get that in B-roll.
Yeah, that's probably. Luckily, it's on the back of the camera.
That's right. Peace. Thanks for tuning in. For more content like this, be sure to check us out at AmericanMusical.com.